Hey guys, so today I'm gonna make a quick run through video of how to set up our Ableton just across campuses, getting songs into place, etc. If you have any questions after the video, just reach out, let me know. Other than that, we'll just dive in. So the biggest thing you need to first off remember is your Ableton set is gonna be on your hard drive. So once you have your hard drive in and it shows up on your computer, you'll go in. Mine looks a little differently than y'all's, but same things apply. You'll pull up. May take just a second, but all right. Now, for the most part, all of our master sets should look the same. Mine looks a little differently, just with some stuff that we've been working on recently. But biggest thing to remember is this is how your set needs to always open up. So no song should ever be saved up here in the set list, just because every time we open our Ableton set, we want it to be a nice, fresh set. We know how to set it up and know how it's supposed to be, stuff like that. So you guys can do it your own order. What I like to do first is I like to put our set list in first. So let's say our first song is Zeal, key of C. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the song, click on it, whatever key it is, whatever arrangement it is, and hit Command C, and that copies it. You'll go up to the top, Command V, and that pastes it. Simple as that. Let's say our next song is I don't know, Highlands in the key of F. We want to do the double arrangement, whatever. Same thing, Highlands, key of F. Let's say our last song is Oceans, which we never do, but that's okay. Key of C, simple as that. Let's say you want to add a tag at the end of Oceans, whatever. You want to make sure you have a click track for it. So what you can easily do is go right here, whatever time signature you want it to be, 4/8, 4/4. Basically 4/8 just gives you a faster click. 4/4 is usually used for faster songs. 4/8 is used for slower songs. So let's say we want to go tag something at whatever after that song. So we want to keep it in the key of C. You can go right here to the key of C drum pad. I'll just go ahead and play that for you, and it'll sound like that. Say, okay, we like that. Actually, let's do this. So that's wrong. So key of C. Boom. So now you have a click track. You can enter it in at, let's say, 72 BPMs. So the way I did that is I clicked on it. Command R lets you rename anything in here, and you're going to go right before BPM, and you're just going to put whatever BPM you want. And if you watch, when I click that, you'll hear it. But what that is doing is it's telling this Ableton master tempo to go to 72 BPMs. So basically it's reading everything in that file, in that line, at 72 BPMs. Now let's say there's a song right here, Oceans for example, that doesn't have a tempo beside it. It says no tempo. Why is that? Basically how we have our click is there's two different kinds of clicks. There's a tempo click, which is like an audio file, just like any of these synths or background vocal files, anything like that. It's an audio file, so it is printed audio. You can't really change it unless you try to change it. What these over here are, where it says click, is this is just a MIDI file. And so basically if I fire this click right here, it's just reading this at how it's supposed to go. For example, we hit Zeal, and then we hit this one more time. So every time it hits these, it's just firing that click, and it just loops over and over and over again. Why do we use tempo click? Is because a lot of times in songs there's tempo automations. It may slow down or it may speed up. You really can't tell where, but somewhere in here, probably somewhere around here, the tempo of the song changes. And the way that Ableton works is in this view, which is called arrangement view, you can have song tempo automations. I can come in here and change this and it'll slow down at that point, but we're not using Ableton in that way. We use it in what's called session view. You can't really do that in session view super fluently. So the reason we do that is we just paste it, and this node tempo basically means that none of these files are warped, which we're not really using a ton of files in here anyways, but anytime you see node tempo, these files will never be warped. Warping basically just lets you control or edit that file. So right here, if I go to Zeal, key of C, let's do this. So let's listen to this right here. That's that vocal sample. So let's say I want to change the key of it. Well, the first thing I need to make sure I do is play it, so that way that this tempo is at 130 BPMs. Then I can hit warp. And let's say I want it to be in a different key, something crazy, I don't know, whatever. Hear how bad that sounds? Obviously you'd never do that, but if I went to beats and complex, then I tried to move this up, obviously we don't want that. So most of the time we do not warp in our tracks. Most of the time we try to set them up to where they're already pre-edited, and you're not having to do any warping on the fly. We try to give as many keys and arrangement as we can, just to have as many options as possible. So that's basically how you can set up your songs. Obviously this is synths and vocal samples. Mine again will look a little differently than y'all. I've taken the time and labeled out where I want all of mine to go, and we'll probably end up giving all the campuses this file soon anyways. But all the background vocals here, alphabetical, just make it easy. Percussion, synth loops, tambourine shakers, pretty much a lot. Try to most of the percussion stuff. Like if you can see FX over here, that's a lot of your like high pass filters, your bass drops, anything like that will go over here. They used to be in this red section, but they're not anymore. And then band obviously is just any of the band tracks that we may not have. So let's say one morning your bass player calls you and says, hey man, I'm sick, I'm not gonna be able to play. Well, you don't have much time to find a bass player, and if you're using tracks for all songs, then it's just as easy as putting the bass track in there. So what we do is, if we're not using any band tracks on that Sunday, you can easily just go right here to this orange button and turn it off. Simple as that. But let's say you need that bass track, or your keys player is sick. So let's go in here, or whatever. We're gonna highlight all of these. I do it this way because it's simple for me, but I turn them all off. You can see all of these orange little buttons turned off. And I'll go right here to bass, and I'll hit bass. And now bass, when I hit Zeal, is going to be the only thing that plays. Simple. And now you have bass. Turn all these back on. Same with guitars. If you're using any extra guitar players, the best thing to do is to look at it during the week and say, okay, which guitar parts do I know I want? Usually you're going to want those big chords, you know, those big rhythm parts, which obviously looks like it's EG3, EG4, like it's the same, you know. Just take that time to look at it and figure out what you want. So that's the main thing as far as getting your set list opened up, getting things rolling. So if your campus is using the MIDI controllers that we use to fire all songs, the way that you assign those songs is you'll go up here to MIDI, you'll go to Zeal, simple as that. On your controller where it says song 1, you'll click on Zeal and hit song 1. Click on Highlands, song 2. Oceans, and then click track. Simple as that. So let's say you're in there and you can simple as that. Now we have this stop track in here. It's basically just a dummy click, basically just a dummy track, I'm sorry, not a dummy click. Basically it just fires this where nothing goes wrong, and the reason we do that is if we were to play this song and only have a space bar to stop it, as soon as you stop it, you see these right here where these green files are still going. Well, those tracks are still armed to play. So let's say you want to stop a song and you just want to use a pad. Okay, so we're in the key of C, so I'm going to hit a C pad on my MIDI controller, and watch what happens when I do that. So this right here will light up, but also watch what keeps playing. 0, 3, 4. Now it's not bad, but if we didn't want that Zill song to play, we would be pretty caught off guard. So that's why we always hit stop. So if we need to do something different on the fly, we can easily just go to that key, or we want to go to the key of G. Simple as that. A, whatever. Yeah. Another thing you can easily look at is down here where it says my testimony. This is something we've been working on. It's called split tracks. Basically what it is, instead of it being a whole song, like this is one whole song. When you click on it, it's going to play that song all the way through. But down here we've split it up to where it kind of goes into different sections, and it gives you a lot of flexibility as far as, you know, where you can go in a song, how you want to do the arrangement, etc. I'll play that real quick, and you can just kind of get an idea of what it is.
My testimony, 3, 4. Verse 1, 3, 4.
So that's pretty much what it is. Basically, you can show when that clip is over, it goes to the next one. Same with the verse, same with all of this. But let's say you want to get in one Sunday and you want to do a real short version of my testimony. How would you do that? Basically, all you have to do is click chorus 1. Let's say you want to do a high intro, big chorus, couple bridges, and then an outro. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So basically, I'm going to go right here, click chorus 1 up, and paste it right there above verse 2. Let's say I want to go straight to bridge 1. No bridge intro, then bridge 2. And then I want to do a big chorus, instrumental outro, and the ending. So that's my new progression. Just going to do these right here. So basically, when I play it, that's what it's going to be.
My testimony, 3, 4.
Straight to the chorus. Straight to the bridge.
3, 4.
Times like I'm gonna go straight to this chorus right here.
Bridge 2, build.
Let's say you want to end big after this chorus. Ready? 2, 3. So, as you can tell, it's pretty flexible as far as what you can do. And again, what I remember, I always copy and paste. I never drag anything up or move anything around, because when I'm done with this arrangement, I can just go up here and delete it, and I have my original arrangement. Obviously, if you were to do this, you'd move it up to the top of the tracks list anyways. But another great thing about this is, let's say you plan to do the whole My Testimony part, but your campus pastor, whoever that is, says, hey man, I want to do a moment, or I want to cut this song short, and because our message is going to go long. Who knows? Let's say you're in the middle of the song and you get told that. If you ever using these split tracks, this right here is called your quantization menu. It needs to be set on 1 bar. And basically what that means is, so for example, if it's set on none, which is what we normally do with these tracks right here, it means it's firing as soon as I click it.
Surrounded.
1, 1, 2, 1.
See how it goes immediately to that? But if I hit 1 bar, watch, it'll go
1, 2, 3, 4.
Chain react.
until it got to that, until it finished that 4, it would not go to the next song. Does that make sense? Basically, it's waiting a whole bar, a whole measure to go to the next song.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Surrounded.
Same thing with that one. So just like this, let's say we want to go to My Testimony and we want to go straight to that big chorus again. So you can easily hit My Testimony.
My Testimony. 3, 4.
So you want to go straight to that chorus. Ready, 1, hit enter.
3, 4.
So you want to go to instrumental outro next. Basically, you click on where you want to go next.
Turn around.
Enter.
3, 4.
So that's really all I'm doing is I'm selecting where I want to go next. Say I start here, but I know I want to go to this big chorus. So when the guide says verse, anytime after it says verse, you can hit chorus 1. It'll go to it next. Basically, because the way we do our guides is we call the next section of the song 1 measure, 1 bar before. Now remember, it's always gonna call, like if you're in this high intro, it's always gonna call a verse, or it's always gonna call a chorus after this verse 2, because that's originally how the song was made. And so whoever your music director is or your worship leader, you'll just have to remember what order you're going in and where you're going and that kind of thing. So it's super flexible, not hard. Again, like let's say, one more example, I'll play this high intro and then I'll go to this big chorus right here. So I'm clicking on chorus 3,
Verse 1.
hit enter,
3, 4.
My testimony. Simple as that. So it's super flexible. It gives you a lot of options. Again, this is the first song we've really tested this with, and so we'll keep adding some in here. The good thing about it is it's the same clip over and over again. It's basically just cut up into different parts, and it's like this with all of them. Now, if you can see, these right here are warped. These have to be warped because basically we're changing where it starts and where it ends. So let's do this. If I fire this synth bass track, you're seeing it's playing, it's starting at 32 and it's going to end at 46. When it gets to 46, it's going to go to this guy right here. We'll fast forward it. See how it went to the next one? Same thing there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, so at the end of every single Sunday, remember, we never save these sets. Why? Because we want to open up, here, let's do that again. Let's say we leave this in there and we're done with our Sunday set. Everything went well. We want to close out of Ableton. It's going to say, do you want to save changes to the master Ableton set? We want to hit no. Because if we were to hit save, the next time you open it up, all of this is still going to be up here. Any changes you may have made for that specific Sunday will be in there, and you really just want a clean, fresh slate every time you open up Ableton. So again, we'll close out, don't save, and then the next Sunday you come in, you open up, it should come up to a clean slate. Boom, just like that. Also, another thing that we are slowly adding is this MP3 reference over here. Basically, that is just a reference of the song with the arrangement that we have for that song. So, for example, let's play Rattle. Let's say one morning you come in and your drummer didn't have time to practice, or he's joining the song late, or your worship leader can't get the timing, or they're a little confused on how the song goes. Whatever the situation may be, let's say you're in the middle of a song.
Rattle. 3, 4.
Let's not do that key. Let's do
Rattle. 3, 4.
So let's say your worship leader is
Verse 1.
confused on how to
3, 4.
come into the verse. So this right here, if you hit solo right here, basically all this is a MP3 of that song. Same progression, same alignment, everything about it is the same keys. So if they're a little confused, you can easily just hit solo right here, or you can just turn it on, whatever. I usually just solo it, that way it's the only thing we can hear, and it'll come through the same channel as the guide will. You see how this is set to extension out 2, extension out 2. So that's going to be where that comes in. It's a good option to have in case your drummer's confused or whatever's going on. It's a good place to hear the song in a quick moment. You don't have to go find it or anything like that. And so we'll slowly be adding these in as we add songs. You can tell we have a lot to add in. But we'll be getting those out. Another thing is, remember just to set your extension outs. All of mine say 1, 2 right now because I'm on my computer. But if your campus is running tracks stereo, your tracks will go to 3, 4, background vocals 5 and 6, percussion and band either, or percussion 7, band 8. But if you're running mono, your clicking guide always go to 1 and 2, and then tracks synths is 3, background vocals 4, percussion 5, band 6, and pads I always just send pads to the same channel as synths. Other than that, yeah, if you guys have any questions, again, the reason we made this master set is for flexibility, being able to have a lot of options in one place in a short amount of time, with tracks, with custom clicks, custom drum pads. Let's say we decide to do a song that we don't have a track for at all. It's easy to come in here and say, okay, we're going to be in the key of E, and we just want to do a click track, and you put the tempo in, and you have a click and a pad for that song, quick, fast, in a hurry, right at your fingertips. So hope you guys enjoy this. Again, Ableton is meant to supplement your team, not to replace it or not to overpower. It is there as a resource to help further the worship experience, give you guys a little bit of direction, but it's not anything that can replace people or replace band members or anything like that. So just a reminder, don't ever let it replace your team or let it be something that cripples you guys. But anyways, love y'all. If you have any questions, reach out.